Hello, hello, hello. I think we're live. Welcome to Feel at Home anywhere in the world and to our session about how the emotional, how filling up and topping up our emotional reservoir can support our resilience levels. If we've not met before, please let me introduce myself. My name is Fra Panella and I am a group facilitator, a community gatherer and a belonging coach. It's really lovely to have you here. Thank you very much. If you're watching, please give me a like or a heart so that I know who is in the room. And if you're watching the replay, then please type in replay and let me know what has stood out for you. Oh, hi Elisabetta, it's lovely to have you here. And also Joe, so nice to have you both. Thank you very much for joining. So, today we are talking about resilience. I hope you're not bored of this word. We must have heard it I don't know how many times since the pandemic started, right? But as we would say in Italian, it might be because it's sort of life. Meaning that without resilience, our ability to face challenges and difficulties in life might be really hard to do that. And so that's possibly why we have heard this word so much over the last 2 years. However, I have to be honest, I really don't like this concept that has been going around all the internet. This idea that resilience, it means that we can just bounce back from challenges and difficulties as if we were like rubber balls, like you go boing, you go like on the floor, a crisis hits you, you lose your job, you have some like stressful situation at home, or I don't know, your health goes under the weather, like, or more like you have a serious issues, and like then it takes you time, energy, dedication, perhaps support to overcome all of that. But in the idea that we just bounce back, we go boing, 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 boing. There is no acknowledgement of any of that. And that's why I really disagree with this idea that resilience it can be something, as quick and fast as bouncing back. Because ultimately, that metaphor doesn't acknowledge all the sweat and tears and love that is gone into overcoming a crisis or an opportunity even. So yeah, I much rather another definition. But before, well, yeah, let's just go there. I much rather the definition of Carol Pemberton, who wrote a beautiful book called Resilience. And her definition is this one. I don't know if we can read it like it's going to be mirrored for you, right? But she says, like a plant, we emerge from difficulty and emerge stronger and wiser and more able. And this is really a much more honest metaphor, way of looking at resilience. Is more honest and is closer to the origin of the word, which comes from the word resili, which is Latin. And the word resili, let me just find it, I got it here, is the ability of plants to adapt themselves to different condition. So for example, a flower growing out of concrete, you know, like a flower, or like the pictures that I had in the event of like this tree that can grow out of rocks and then have all the branches that are attached on the cliff of the rock. And, you know, plants are incredible like that. They can just you know, be so dedicated to living and surviving and thriving, and they could do in the most incredible natural conditions and the weathers, and you know, like they can, and in that sense they can be a real inspiration for that to us humans. And I really like, you know, going back to the roots and the origin of words, because we can really find what is the meaning behind. And so if we go back from resilience, we go back to resili, we can really connect and anchor this concept in the idea that is about being flexible in our thoughts and in our feelings. And in a way, you know, it's like this can be reflected in our behaviors, in the way that we engage with others. It's not always that simple. And, you know, depending on the situation that we're in, we might choose to do this in different ways. And this is, you know, resilience is one of the principal and key and core concept, idea, and practices, if you like, that I support my clients with, both in my one-to-one group and in my group one-to-one group, did I say? One-to-one work and group work. And so, but I'm just conscious of time, and so I just want to also show you another pretty picture, because I'm such an artist and I make really big, beautiful pictures. No, I don't. But anyway, is this idea of the emotional reservoir, which is one of the most powerful metaphor that I found to talk about how to support your resilience, how to support you to stay flexible and adaptable to the challenges that life throws at you, and how to move from this is really hard, I don't want to do it, I don't want to have to deal with it, to okay, so what can I do? Where is some space for maneuver? And then focusing on the space and the actions that you can take, and do the work from a place of softness rather than a place of resistance. How can you be a plant that emerge from concrete or from a rock and just adapt itself to the shape and of the natural environment, the shape of the life that you are living into, and make your own way through it? My metaphor is that one of the emotional reservoir. So this is a reservoir, and this is the level of the water. And here, where it's colored, is where we are at the okay level. So when we are, let me find a picture, like, yes, I found something to point at things with, nice. So when we are faced with a challenge or difficulties in our life, then what happens is that our levels of ability to respond might drop down, okay? And so the level of the water would go out, the reservoir would go out in this direction, and we would lose energy, we would lose creativity, input, ability of doing. And so it's like the water would go down in the same way that the water leaves the reservoir and go down a hill. In the same way, when we are faced with a challenge, our levels of resilience will drop. And that is why we need to find ways to refill our emotional reservoir. If we are at the okay level, which is just halfway, it means that we have just enough capacity to deal with what is out there. When we are going above the okay level, it means that we have space for generosity. We can support others, we can help the neighbors, we could do, we could have a long chat with a friend who's having trouble with a partner, or we can help our colleague at work to get a job done that they're struggling with. When we are above okay, when we are here in our emotional reservoir, we have capacity to be there for others. When we are at okay, we just have enough to keep on top of what we are dealing with, ourselves and the people that are closest to us. So in my case, is my daughter, for example. If my daughter needs something, I will always be there for her. And I will be there for her even if I am underneath the level of reservoir, even if I have to withdraw my energy, even if I have to go down here, because she's my priority, so I would always be there for her. But I might not do it if my energy is below the level of okay and a colleague asked me to do a big job. Like if I was here and a colleague asked me to help him to figure out how to do the newsletter or the bulletin or whatever, I might not help them do that because I might not have the capacity, okay? And that's okay. It's okay to say no. Just talking of boundaries this week. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to look at ways that we can refill our emotional reservoir. How do we do that? Well, there is loads of different ways that we can look after our emotional reservoir. And I am pretty sure that you know what works for you, don't you? I can tell you what are the ways that work for me and what are the most famous 5 ways of well-being. But I am sure that you already know what the answers are because the answers are within yourself. Okay? So if you take a minute and you think, what is it that tops me up? When I'm in a difficult state, what brings me up again? What is it that brings me up again? For some people, it's doing yoga. For some people, it's going on a walk. For some people, it's having a long conversation with a friend on the phone, or even better, going out at the restaurant or for a drink or whatever. Or for other people, it's about going out in a big group of people and feeling surrounded by the love and fun and laughters and noise. And for other people who might be more introverted and they might enjoy more their own space, is about having a beautiful cup of tea or hot drink or cold drink if it's summer where you are. I'm not jealous at all. And reading a beautiful book or listening to a podcast. Yeah, this is just like at the top of my head. You know what are the things that help you top up your levels of feeling at an emotional level of being okay here. So please just know that when there is a big challenge in your life, when there is like or a big opportunity like a career advancement, a relocation, um, someone asks you to write a book with them, or someone ask you to go on a big trip abroad with them, and they're gonna pay for the flight for you, but that means arranging the childcare and work and all your deadlines. But it's an opportunity, right? So it doesn't always have to be a challenge. But when your life gets destabilized by things, then is the time where you have to top up this. And it's no good to complain about the fact that the water goes out. It is your responsibility to try and top it up. And obviously, don't get me wrong, there are some situations where it doesn't matter, you know, how much self-care or attention or how much practices we put in. You know, this level is always hard to top it up because there's some conditions external to us makes it really hard, and I appreciate that. At the same time, you know what you need to be at an okay level. And the more that you do to keep yourself at an okay level, the more you're gonna feed and grow that plant that can emerge from difficulty being stronger and wiser and more able. The more you make sure that you're okay, the more you can be resilient in life. And I hope that this kind of makes sense to you, how I've linked the two things together. I've also, you know, how I've linked our resilience and our ability to stay flexible in life and adaptable to what challenges life throws at us. How I've linked resilience to topping up our emotional reservoir and looking after ourselves so that we stay at an okay level. I hope that it makes sense to you. Obviously, it's a huge topic. I can't really go into too much depth in just a quick live, but know that how to support and expand your resilience is something that I discuss a lot with my clients. And if you were interested in finding out more, I would be really happy to have a chat with you, non-committal chat. I do like this discovery call that they're called. And you know, we could just hop on a Zoom or a phone call for half an hour, 40 minutes, and see if I can help you get where you want to be. And yes, so I have touched on resilience today. I discussed the resilience, sorry, but I touched on boundaries, which I don't know if you've seen my post in the group. It's something that is very much coming up, both for clients and friends and people that I have around me. And I'm really looking forward to explore these more next week with a guest. Who is it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? Who's coming to talk about boundaries? Ooh, let's see. I will let you know. So keep an eye out for an invitation to our event next Tuesday. And yes, if there was anything of what I said that resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to have a chat with me, to just hop on a call with me for a free non-committal discovery call, just drop me a message here on Messenger, and we can get it sorted out. All right. It was really lovely to be here with you today, and thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. All right. Bye bye. Ciao for now. Bye bye.